Welcome to season. I'm not doing it, but we do have a new backdrop, and apparently it looks pretty dope. I haven't seen it yet.
You know why?
Why?
Because your back hurts, and you're like, I can't sit on a stool anymore.
Yeah, that's true. My shoulders hurt this weekend. My neck hurts today. My back hurt a couple weeks ago. I think I need to go to the gym.
A month before that.
Welcome to the MartiniWorks Podcast, where we help people mod their car. Welcome back.
Crack.
It's been incredible to have a growing audience of people listening in. So if you're new here, MartiniWorks is a place where we help you mod your car. So you can pick up wheels, tires, performance parts, intakes, all on the website. We actually mount and balance tires, and we'll ship them to your door. So all you got to do is throw them on the car. And we've been doing this for a while. We've got some really good brands out there. We've got work wheels that you can pick up, Michelin's. But we also have more affordable stuff if you're looking to just get out there and drive your damn car. So if you're looking for Koenigs or Stages, Ironman tires, Nexans, we've got that too. And it helps you save a couple $100 when you get them mounted and balanced by us. So then they just show up to your door ready to rock and roll.
You guys look so freaking cute.
Thanks.
Same shirt.
I know, we had to sit next to each other.
You sit next to each other.
Don't be weird. So jumping into the first week of being back, we have to talk about what? Our cars? Cars first?
Yeah, I feel like you got some updates more so than anyone
Did you
else.
forget how this goes?
With your
Yeah.
You've been in too deep in the S2K. You forgot how to run the
the
podcast.
S2K is fire.
When does this video air? This Friday or next Friday?
That'll be next Friday.
Next Friday. So this will be after Grid Life. So
Yes.
I get to tell the potty first, but yes, the S2000 is back up and running
Thanks,
after
Running.
3 months of learning, painfully slow, what I might add, on how to rewire an engine harness and put a new ECU in. So that's been fun.
You guys were in deep on that thing for the last couple weeks.
It's been a learning experience, ladies and gentlemen. If I were to tell you, would you rather go to hell for 7 days or rewire an engine harness without knowing how to do it at the beginning, I probably would just tell you to dress for a hot day, because wiring harnesses are a whole different breed. And the people who know how to work on them, entirely different animal.
Yeah.
It's insane. The people we were talking to at ECU Master, bless their heart, Chris and Chris, you guys are incredible folk to put
There's
up with
two
us.
Chris's?
Yeah, one in marketing and one in tech.
Ah.
And the guy in tech, a little bit more slow and steady, not very ups and downs in his voice.
Well, you
but
know
he
what?
got us to the finish line.
Got the job done. So, yeah, let's talk about So, the car started on fire. What
Nice.
caused the fire?
Just being so fast.
It was so fast it just burst into flames.
I was so good
Speed
on
racer.
I was so good on the track that the car was like, no, we can't do this anymore. He's breaking the wall.
Yeah.
No, so essentially we were running without the proper digital displays to tell us what was going on in the engine. We had our overflow tank creating essentially a lovely fog of ignitable fluid in the engine bay.
Fun.
We had a turbo blanket that was collecting said fluid until eventually everything just got to a temp where the turbo line oil feed hose cracked and oil met that, and fire and all that sort of good stuff. We're going to keep the fire damage on the roof so that it's just always there as a
metal.
reminder.
Perfect. Yeah.
That's metal.
You have to at that point. So you figure out what caused the fire, got that all cleaned up, and then you just decided to throw an entire new management system in the entire car.
Yeah, well, it's like while you're in there, don't do that. Don't ever listen to yourself. If there's
Because, I know it was like a fire. It wasn't that big of a fire. Like, not a lot of stuff melted.
no.
But
Enough
you
did,
just...
though.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's tough because when we had to replace things that I didn't understand what they were,
Right.
and you don't know until you do it.
Sure.
Like it's one of those car things, and maybe people in the audience might agree, but it's like, dude, you watch people on the internet work through a very complicated thing on a car, and you're like, how did they do that? And then you just do it, and you're reminded that they probably just had to figure it out too.
Yeah, they spent, every freaking night in the shop until 10 p.m.
It's less about knowing that happens to be your VTEC solenoid, and it's more about just figuring out how do you frickin' wire the VTEC solenoid. And you try it, and your multimeter is your best friend, and it works, and you celebrate like you just won a grand championship. When we got that car started for the first time with all 4 coil packs working, I have never been so happy working on a car in my entire life.
This dude was jumping all around this shop.
That's probably why my back hurts.
Yeah, I think
my
you
God,
hurt
that's how you
yourself
hurt
from
your back.
celebrating. No, that's an incredible feat. I, obviously was in the shop. We've all been kind of around as you guys have been plinking away at that thing for the last couple weeks. That is an incredible feat. Throwing in the entire new, basically brain to the car with a whole new wiring harness for literally everything, trying to correct what was done wrong from previous ownerships and previous modifications, and trying to source, a Honda system.
Yeah,
And there's so
Honda
it's not like it's coming even from like a stock ECU to a brand new aftermarket ECU. It's like going from an aftermarket one that maybe wasn't done the best, that was also for a different engine that's now
Yeah. If you guys want to watch,
Jesus.
if you head over to the Alex Martini channel and you go to the video, it'll have like on fire in the thumbnail. You can see what happened with the car, but it's been really cool to get it started. We still have a long way to go. We have to figure out what brand IAT is in there, and then we got to get it to a dyno. But huge shout out Corey Talaska from FD Prospect. You guys might know him. He helped out a ton with wiring, taught me a whole bunch about like Deutsch connectors, resistance, ohms, things like that. Jackson Hazen, he's a local builder, and he goes to US Air a ton. He's been just steamrolling it with me, just figuring it out with me, and tackling problems as fast as we can. He's been a huge help. Dustin Korth has been just same thing, just problem solving. None of us know how to wire a car. This was our very first time going through and doing this. And we didn't even wire the whole car, right? We used a plug and play, but we still had to correct the VVT and the VTEC solenoid, all the wiring down there, all burned up. So we had to redo it all. But it was enough. Like it taught me a ton, and I still feel a little bit underprepared for working on it again, but
Yeah. I was going to say, so as of this moment, we are how many days away from grid life?
we have 4 days where that car has to be on a 4.048 mile racetrack
Oh my God.
at a buck 30
How-
40.
How confident are you in that right now?
Out of 10, I'm like a 5.
Okay.
Yikes.
How confident were you last week?
0.
Yeah.
When I walked in and when we did our first startup on Tuesday or whatever it was, and like you're nervous, you're sweating, you're on a call with somebody you've never met before, you think you've got it right, and the very first thing he asks you to do, it doesn't work. And you spend 3 hours on a call realizing that nothing works. And he's like, you have a grounding issue, you have this issue, you have that issue. He's like, we can't go anywhere until this is fixed. It was the most deflating feeling. And to then get to Friday, 6:08 p.m. and having launch control and hearing that for the first time, that was an incredible feeling. So we still got to figure that out. We got to drop the RPMs. We got to change a couple things in like our Lambda, charts, I guess, if you will. Then, yeah, man, it's got to go on a dyno, and we got to run it through its paces. But everything is in a position where it should be okay.
It's looking up. It's looking a lot better.
There is a light,
Sounding a lot better.
and it's not
Running
Dakota's tummy.
a lot better.
Yeah, it's running way better.
You have to go get it retuned now?
Yeah. Since you rip out the brain of the car and you replace it with a new brain, you got to go through the whole process
You like
again.
lobotomized your car.
Yeah. It was crazy.
We're sticking a lot of things in there, to be fair.
It was like we got a lot done in the timeline that we did, but it does make me really appreciate when you see professional race car drivers or drifters, these guys that will like trash their car a month before an event, and their chassis all mangled and their front ends all and they replace that entire thing in less than a month. It blows my mind. Some of these guys do it in like 2 days, and that blows my mind. I couldn't put a 16-pin connector together with a plug-and-play harness to an OEM wiring harness without it taking 80 hours. And it's like, dude, there are people out there that are just so wicked smart. And the people that follow the channel, too. I do have to give credit. There's a lot of people that listen to this podcast
Giving you some help.
that I dropped posts out on YouTube community, and y'all were fantastic. The amount of feedback gave me, tips and tricks and testing areas, like that actually helped us find what was going on with our third coil pack was a comment on a YouTube community post. So definitely appreciate all the
Great job,
love and
team.
support there.
Let's
That's
freaking
crazy.
go.
I think my biggest nightmare working on a car is wiring. And if there's wiring issues, I'll probably just total it out and get a new car.
It's so
because fuck
scary.
Any of that.
It's
Fuck
so
any of that.
scary.
I watched you deal with some of that when we were filming some of it over there. And it was like, okay, test this. Nope. test this. No, test it. Okay, well, try doing this. No. It's just,
Yeah.
hell no. Hell no. I can't.
Oh, hold on. Let me pin this here. Let me put the voltmeter in here. All right, now we're not getting that. All right, how about the craziest thing to me was honestly just kind of like bystanding all of this and kind of listening and watching and lending a hand when needed. You had your laptop hooked up to the ECU master ECU, correct? And Chris was able to remote into the laptop to like kind of like check everything and see everything because you're getting live data. He was literally like firing like the coil packs and the fuel pump and sending voltage to like different sensors and stuff like from wherever the hell he's at right now. And like you're like, all right, okay, I'm gonna try something. Tick, 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 tick. And I'm like, that's insane. How are you able to do that?
Controlling the car from another state.
Yeah. He's like, all right, I'm gonna test your coil pack number 3. Let me know if you see anything. Bzzz. Yeah, we're good. Holy shit. It's like, what the hell?
One of the most eye-opening experiences is Dustin and I were working on starting up. The car has never sounded as good as it has. I want to be clear.
Has it been running on 3 cylinders this whole time?
I don't think so. Okay. But this car sounds better at idle than it ever has before. If you guys and gals run E85 in a car, you know that there are people that'll say it just runs like shit. They'll be like, yeah, it just idles bad. It's just E85.
It's just E85.
That's such a 2012 answer because that's 100% not true. What Chris did with the tune on startup and its rollback after it warms up is how it should have been done because that thing runs beautifully well. So freaking smooth. And what we learned is you have this like crank cam sensor thing, right? That's got like teeth on it. And essentially that's what tells your engine which ignition to fire, which cylinder, et cetera. Yeah. And the thing that blew my mind was you can control when the brain tells the engine to then fire. So we were trying to find this tooth that kept missing in the sensor readout, and we kept changing how often it should read, what the sync rate should be, what the refresh should be, all these different things until finally we were like down to like the 2000th of seconds level to find this 24th like tooth, and we found it, and we locked it on, and then we delayed the ignition timing. And then we put a pause at the beginning so that the sensor can read through 2 full circles before the car even tries to start.
Sure.
And now it's like, we'll press the start button. It goes, done. No hesitation, no 300 RPM shaking the entire car falls apart, no 3,000 RPM, just pray that you can't sense it. Like, it was so wild to think that you really are, you got this engine that is just this muscle. And that ECU can tap into any sensor in there, and you can control it within thousandths of a cent.
It was crazy to see how much he could control from just a laptop, like plugged into the car. Like that was wild.
With 2 idiots with a stick, just poking and prodding into metal bits,
just sticking it into random.
Imagine what Chris could do if there were competent people working on this car.
Oh man!
So no, it was cool. We got a long way to go. Thank you, Chris and ECU Master. Thank you, Grid Life, because Grid Life, we have a backup plan in place just in case it doesn't work out. But everybody's been super accommodating, and I couldn't be more thankful.
It's awesome.
What else? We got
the what?
The who?
What's that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We can't tell him yet, can we?
God damn it, Alex.
Oh shit!
Oh, we almost made it to the launch.
Damn it!
Without officially.
Son of a bitch.
You're gonna have to bleep that out.
Bleep it.
Just bleep it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we have another car that we're working on. Gels, how is that car going?
I mean, we're just starting to really dive into it. We did a really, really fun day for the second episode. That was a blast. Part of it wasn't. A lot of it was, though.
Yeah.
We made it. Now we're diving into what essentially will be episode number 3, which is, I would say, kind of really getting into the guts of everything.
That's awesome.
A little bit to do what we really want to do with this car, because the goal of this car is for each of us to do something that we really, really want to do with it, like a goal or like a dream with it. So I'm really excited for it. We got a ton of dope parts laying around, some really, really good stuff.
Yeah, you guys balled out.
Yeah, we did. So you guys better watch this series when it comes out. That's all I'm saying.
I love
Please
this car.
watch the series, God.
I like this car even more than what I thought I would.
Yeah.
It's turned out to be really good. And I mean, even I think we can at least say it's an older Japanese car.
Yep.
How's been like working on it and getting underneath it?
Honestly, I think we got a really, really clean example
From driver.
From driver, there is not the slightest spot of like rust on that thing, and that's saying
nice.
something for that type of vehicle.
We've had
so far everything that I've touched has come apart beautifully. So
we've had obviously I think Driver Motorsports, if you guys haven't heard of them, they're an import company out of Virginia, and I've had 3 or 4 cars I think total now that have come in or have been supplied through Driver Motorsports, and I personally, my personal experience, I can't speak any higher of them. They're absolutely fantastic folks, and what they've been able to provide us with the Gloria, what they've been able to provide us with this car. I mean, we did a full bolt check on the Gloria before we took it to Drift Mansion, and we worked through everything, every bolt, every crook, every possible corner we could,
every cranny.
Okay. And even like with the manual transmission and the custom fab work that they had to do to mount that and all this and that and the other thing, it's like we went under good. It was good.
Gloria's the best car you own.
I know. And
you're like, I'm going to sell it.
Dude, on the Volks too, it's such a freaking just look.
Yeah,
I love 100%.
that thing. Such a good build. Like that's one car that I feel like you can literally just leave it alone. Just let it be what it is right now and just enjoy driving, get better at driving, and enjoy that process because that thing is so sick. I love the Gloria.
That's been one of my favorite cars, and I think it actually has started to turn my taste of cars into like a slightly different direction.
Sure. Yeah,
which has been like I've really started to enjoy some of these more kind of unique platforms that have the bones to do fun stuff with.
Yeah.
That
It is funny when you start looking like how many cars are out there. What was I talking about the other day, Joe?
Like the Mark IIs, or not the Mark IIs. Oh God.
Oh, I'm just drawing a blank. We were talking about because it was so
Aristo?
cool. Yeah, the Aristo, but not the like there's the one everyone knows. It's like the generation before that looks almost just like an economy car, but you pop the hood and there's a fucking 2JZ GTE from the factory in them.
Yeah.
And it's like, dang, that thing's gnarly. It's sick. It's a sleeper.
There's some really cool cars out there, and I think even with the car that we're building, it's such a testament to when you go out on the internet, there is such a push to buy the
best of the
biggest and the bestest and the lowest mileage and the most perfect and the most expensive. And it's such a fucking, like, it's stupid. It makes me angry because there are so many incredible cars out there that you don't need to have like the top of the line. Like, just get in a car and drive it and love it and
How
make
much
it yours.
Can you get a Gloria for?
Those
Like
automatic,
a Cedric too. Right?
yeah, 12.
Are they only an auto? I know yours is
You have to
manual
do
swapped.
a manual
Yeah.
swap.
Okay.
Yep. So I would say if you wanted to do what I did, which is a CDO9 trans, you'd have to cut the drive shaft, you'd have to shorten it, re-weld and rebalance, and then the diff, and then the S14 like rear parts. If you wanted to do that, you'd probably be set back and if you did it yourself, $5,000. I would say all
top
in.
of that.
Yeah. I would say I had mine done with Driver Motorsports. Obviously, there's a premium added to that because they got to make some money too, which I totally get. Right. But you could probably do that for sub 25 if you wanted to. I would say, but like you can go out there and you can even get like a JZX. JZX is a perfect conversation. You want to get a JZX. It's an awesome car, manual, this, that, and the other thing. But if you get a JZX 90, you're a cheap bitch. Get a JZX 100. It's like, dude, JZX 100s are $35,000 right now. JZX 90s you can get for like 15.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no. If you're gonna get a JZX, you might as well get 100. It's like, dude, you mess yourself up so bad by thinking that way. There's so many cool cars. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah.
There's so many cool cars out there that are not the top trim, that are tons of fun to drive, and you don't need to build them with $1,000 bajillion dollars. You get some affordable wheels, some affordable tires. You're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, and that's what I hope we can kind of get across with this one. So I'm really excited for it. You guys keep an eye out on the main channel coming up in the next, honestly, by the time this comes out, probably week or so.
Yeah,
the launch.
we're getting there.
We have 2 sets of wheels for it because we're going to be drifting on one set that has kind of a different tire setup, and then we got some dope wheels that we're going to be putting on some Continental Extreme Contact Sport 02s, which is the official sponsor of this podcast, and we love our Conti tires. Especially, I've absolutely love the Extreme Contact Sport 02. I've been running them for 2 summers now, and they've been fantastic. They come in the sizes I need, which, 305s and 19s, some bigger size tires, but they also have tires that fit my Jetta, and they have all seasons that are perfect for my Jetta. So if you haven't, go out and check up the lineup from Continental, because they have a tire for every situation. And I think we mentioned it on the last podcast, but now is a good time. I know it's way ahead, but if you want to be a really responsible adult, get your winter tires, because everyone waits till the first snowfall, and by the first snowfall, they're gone. So
Yeah. They only make so many of them, and then they're just like, we're done.
yeah. And they're amazing, dude. I beat the hell out of my Supra in the winter with smaller snow tires on the stock wheels, and it just absolutely tore through the snow like nothing. So make sure to check that out. Continental also has a really cool warranty program on their tires, so you can be confident when you get them. Other than that, we'll be right back.
You guys want to see the coolest book in the world?
I have gone through that book many a time, more than anyone in here. So
Look at that. Look. Talk as I show.
About what?
he has a work catalog. It's like a J.C. Penney catalog from back in the day, but for work wheels, which is sick. How did we even get that? Where'd you get that from?
I think it came in some of, like, when we got the,
Don't touch that wire.
I'm trying not to, when we got the Kwame, wherever it is. Right there. It came in the box.
Oh, it came with a Kwame?
Yeah. There's some cool
It's
stuff
so
in there.
sick. This work catalog is my favorite. Anyways, before you get into work wheels, I want to talk a little bit today about the worst first cars to get.
The worst first cars to get?
You turn 16 years old. Maybe you're 15 and a half, and you're really excited. You got your temps. Or you turn 16, and you're like, I'm getting this car. What is the worst car for a 16-year-old to pick up?
What was my first car?
Did you have like a weird Audi or something?
Nah,
Or
that was,
old Mercedes?
that was a great one.
Old Mercedes.
I'm going to
Love
say it
that
right
car
off
too.
the
Yeah, what do you got?
Mustang.
Yeah, I was gonna say anything rear-wheel drive, like higher horsepower.
I
like
say
that.
it from experience, because I had a Mustang when I was like 17.
Bro, a 2-valve Mustang's got like 60 horsepower.
A 2-valve? What?
You're not going to be able to afford a 4-valve Mustang if it's your first car.
I got a Mustang GT. It was one of my first cars, and it was like, I don't know,
2000
at the time, $6,000.
Yeah.
My first car was $3,000.
That was my first car too. My PT Cruiser was $3,000.
Yeah, I had
and I traded up, baby. Got that Mustang GT, and guess what?
1989 Mercedes-Benz.
I hopped a
300E.
fucking curb immediately, jumped it, hit a mailbox. All the mail went fucking flying everywhere like it was out of a movies, because my tires were a little wet, and I didn't know what a V8 with wet rear tires did.
But that's a canon event. You have to go through that.
I don't think you have to.
No, I think
don't
you
think
do.
you should, because
At between the ages
have
of
you
six-
seen crowds lately?
between the ages of 16 to 18, you need to own a vehicle that humbles you.
No.
In some activity, which is like everybody hits a mailbox. You have to. That's a canon moment. Or you do something. My thing was I had that Mercedes-Benz. I got done watching like Fast 5 or 4 or whatever it was. And I remember I was going to a high school graduation party, and I had my friends in the car, and I was thinking I was all tough and cool. And I was going like 85 miles an hour, and there was like this embankment or like this rise for these train tracks, and then it went back down to like the normal road, and I took that thing at full speed at like 75 miles an hour. I jumped that car.
Yeah, I feel like at 16, 17, everyone wanted to jump their car.
I did jump it. I didn't think I was going to, and then I smashed it on the ground. I remember hearing the bottom of that car completely like shatter pretty much. And I remember I had to get the tires replaced a few months later, and somebody asked why it looked like my car got squished, because everything, like the suspension components and everything, had like bent up because of it.
Oh my God.
And yeah, that's a canon moment. You got to jump your car. You got to hit a mailbox.
I don't
You
think
got
you
to.
have to do that. I do agree that like when you're younger like that and you start driving, like you do have to be humbled a little bit, but I don't think you got to go about it with that.
Yeah, you'll
mess.
slip into a ditch every now and then, I think.
I would say any N54 high mileage BMW is probably a bad one to jump in.
They have their pros and cons, I
Yeah,
feel
the
like.
pros are they look cool. The cons are they blow up.
Yeah.
And you don't know anything about that motor at 16 years old.
I would say another thing you should look at when you're 16 and you're about to get a car is the modability factor. Like in the sense of, are there parts available for this car? And the second one is, are there affordable parts available for this car? I remember when I got my Cobalt SS, that seems like the perfect car for like a younger dude to get into and start modifying. At the time when I got it, dude, there was like no fucking parts because the LSJ supercharged engine switched over to the LNF and it was the turbocharged engine. And there was like, I don't know, 3 intakes, 3 intercooler pipes, and 3 exhausts that you could get.
Yeah.
And then the bolt pattern was horrendous. So here I am, excited as all hell to start modifying, work on my car, and I had no options to do anything. And like everyone's Cobalt looked exactly the same. I couldn't put a blow-off valve on it. It's the only thing I fucking wanted the turbocharged car for, was just to have a blow-off valve. They run like shit with them. They didn't make like an atmospheric charge pipe to put a blow-off valve on. It was just a diverter valve. So I'd say look into it a little bit, and probably I'm leaning towards here. You should get a Honda. It's gonna be your best bet.
Honda, like a Civic Si, obviously bang on car option. I would say if you want to be different and you really want to like make a mark as your first car, you got to get something that's like subtle enough that you lower and you put some like nice wheels on and you just look really clean.
Like a Gloria.
Like a Gloria.
Gloria.
I think but like even like a Volkswagen, like GTI, you know,
that's
you do
fucking
like good, just really nice stuff. Anything that's turbocharged and all-wheel drive, though, will be your most fun car you could possibly own. Because the all-wheel drive is going to protect your ass because nobody knows what they're doing when they're 16 and they're driving for the first time, even if you have a sim. The second thing is, if you got it with forced induction, that means you can tune it. That's why like the C5 and B5 Audi platforms or the B6, B7 Audi platforms are so much fun to own right at the beginning because you get a turbocharger and you get all-wheel drive. So with an APR tune or whatever it is, and a catback exhaust and an intake, you get like an extra 100 foot-pounds of torque, and you feel fast as fuck.
Yeah.
And nobody can tell because you're still driving an Audi, and everybody thinks you're an old-ass man. And it's like, dude, it's so much fun.
I remember a kid at my high school had a car I was kind of jealous of. So what would this be? I think the Mark II Focus. You know, like the hatchback. Like when you think of a Ford Focus before the ST, that one, he had that body style, but it was super clean, like really good shape. And then he lowered it, put it on wheels, had some underglow on it, put some speakers, a little bit of vinyl on the side, nothing crazy though. And like that was a really good looking car, and that will keep you out of trouble too because they're slow as balls. So it's probably just as fast as my PT Cruiser. But
I was gonna say, like, I know you get a car and like everyone is all about like the horsepower nowadays, and if it doesn't have fucking 1,000 horsepower, it doesn't belong on the street kind of thing. No, I agree with Alex. It's like something that you can just make look good. You're 16 years old. You don't need a ton of fucking power. You're gonna get in trouble either way. You're gonna do dumb shit. You don't need 500 horsepower to be able to do dumb shit. You're still gonna do it anyway. So yeah, making it look good with, you know, being able to lower it, maybe getting some sort of like body kit or something for it, like some side skirt extensions, even a lip. Making it a little different, cleaning it up. You can do so much by just cleaning up a car, like fucking defog the headlights, like redo like the trim if you need to redo the trim, like get it looking good, because that'll go much, much farther than trying to dump extra horsepower out of it for no reason.
First time, I think car builders nowadays, I think, are way more prepared than we probably were. Cause like I've seen some like 18-year-old, 17-year-old with some wicked clean builds. Like they definitely don't mess around as much anymore as I think what I used to see, because dude, I've seen some wildly good builds on TikTok. Even the guy that's like building that super clean 240 and he's like sandblasting everything. He's going back to bare metal. Tristan, he's building it all from the ground. I was like, dude, no way. No way. Me at the same age, I could barely fucking figure out anything. I didn't know cruise control was a thing, and then I got my first car, and I thought that was the raddest shit ever.
I think it'd be really interesting to like go back to like that age, like now, and like see how different, like what I would have done differently.
Yeah.
100%.
What do you?
Because I feel like there's so many more resources out there, especially for like someone like myself who came from a really small town where like the tuner car thing just wasn't really a thing. So it's like I didn't have people to go hang out with to ask questions or like base anything off of. It was like, oh, if I come across something on the one Facebook group that I'm in,
right,
you know, maybe I'll see something cool that can inspire me. But other than that, it was just like,
well, there was even like our own videos. Something that's important to remember, because I think there's a lot of talks on the internet about like automotive YouTube is dying because all of these corporate sellouts and this, that, and the other thing are happening. And it's like a lot of people have started to assume that if you're talking about something like a product, that like your corporate sellout or something like that. And it's like, it's really important to remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are a brand and we do sell stuff. Like we're not We're not influencers. We're trying our best to help people mod their car the right way. That's why we started this whole thing. That's why we talk about products so much, is because we're surrounded by it 24/7. We're just not putting any false bullshit marketing over your head and pretending to tell you something is good when it really isn't, because we feel like that's bullshit, because we do feel like there's a lot of corporate sellouts that do that. But nowadays, it's like you look back and it's like, man, the videos that we've done talking about different car chassis and what offset means and what different types of wheels are, like, we made those videos because those videos didn't exist before. We were the first ones to make those videos, and then everyone else after the fact then made those videos. And it's like, dude, the amount of resources nowadays is insane. It's so cool to see, because it's like, I wish we had that level of support.
Dude, I know, it's crazy, because it's like we sit down and like think about like, okay, what, coming up with like video ideas and stuff like that. Like, what do we need to do? It's like, what did I fuck up back in the day? Like, what did I royally screw the pooch on? That like, if I were to sit my 16-year-old self down and be like, just watch the fucking videos so you don't screw this up, what would that be? And I think, for the three of us, that's been kind of the name of the game. And yeah, I couldn't imagine. And I love seeing that, you can come out of high school with a really clean car, and a good example of a car that's not totally ratted to shit.
All right, I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
What was the car that was like the car in your high school parking lot? Who had the car?
Dude, Freddie, he won best car, and he had a 3G Clips. Or wait, 4G? Is that the round one?
No, 3G.
Round?
4G is a really bubbly round.
Yeah, that one.
Oh.
The fuck is that? Why the hell was that best car?
Because it was probably like the newest.
It was.
At the time.
It was like new. Yeah.
Would you like me to slightly one up you?
Yeah.
Because I did win it, and then I sold my 3000 GT because I made $700 on it, and I asked Brooke Rumful if I still won even if I sold the car, and she's like, "Yeah, just take a picture of it." Well, then she fucking cut me out and gave it to Andrew Kim, who had a Pontiac G5 convertible.
The convertible? That's such a slap in the face.
You know who won? You know who won best car
Pontiac
on the
G5?
girl side?
Who?
My wife, Rebecca.
No shit.
In a Hyundai Elantra.
A Hyundai Elantra?
What
Yeah,
the-
a Hyundai Elantra and a baby, or in a red Pontiac G5 won best car. I was so upset about that. I still am holding on to it to this day. Brooke Rumful, I know you're a changed woman now, and family with kids, but that was a pretty dick thing to do back then. All right, and you doing it because you and Becca had an issue. I think that's fucked up. Okay, and we're not gonna let that go.
The
13 years ago.
The chick that won best car, I believe it was the Nissan Cube.
Oh,
Those were popular back then.
Apparently,
that was new.
best car.
Yeah.
No, what about you? Remember?
I remember. I don't remember like years before. I remember there was like a Mark IV. I think it was a TDI Mark IV.
Let's fucking go.
That it was actually pretty sick.
Let's go.
But in my grade, Tyler won with a Chevy Cruze because it was.
Oh, dude,
I think
it's just which
I
kid
know.
has the newest
I know.
car.
And, well, to be fair, like he did some stuff to it, and actually did it kind of tasteful. Like he did. It's like
Those
I
used
can't
to be
remember what.
so hot.
I know. I can't remember what wheels they were, but they're it was a black Chevy Cruze. You got the windows like super dark tinted, and then he got like these black wheels for it, and it actually did kind of look
all
like
right.
decent. But I just remember like, God damn it, lost to a freaking Chevy Cruze, but like it did look good. And then
Chevy
we also
Cruzes.
had like best truck because there was.
How many people were in your graduating class to have a best car?
Ours was like 300, 350.
What?
Mine was like-
Did you combine cities, or is that just Beaver Dam?
That's just Beaver
We
Dam.
combined cities and
Damn.
it was like 80.
I was gonna say, because
Combined.
how many people live in Beaver Dam?
Like 18,000.
You had 300 people in your graduating class, and there's 18,000 people that live there. What are they ferrying in kids from other counties? There's
They
no
just have
way.
a lot of kids.
There's no way,
What do you mean?
dude. We had 70,000 people in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and our graduating class was 320.
Yeah.
You had 18,000, and you had 300 kids graduating.
Sounds like you got a bunch of old people in your
Yeah, people just boomer cruising out there
No, dude, I have to say
on
that
the Chippewa River.
the coolest car back in the day when I was in high school was a guy. His name was Adam Went, and he had
Where did he go?
North High School. And Adam Went had a red, I think it was red, maroon Camaro IROC Z,
Nice.
and that was hot.
Nice.
manual. It was
That's pretty cool.
Big done up. His dad and him, kind of built it together. We used to ride around together, and I still have pictures of it. Dude, that car was so cool. Then another buddy of mine had a Trans Am WS6 black manual.
I remember those were the shit for a while.
And those
guys
cool.
always want to race.
And you want to know what
they do.
They go hang out by the river during lunch because they were cool. And oh my god,
Yeah. The Subway parking lot was the meetup for like the cars and
ours
the
was
trucks.
Taco Bell parking lot. Maybe that's where I got it from. I don't know. It was that we had definitely a cruising strip too. Like you'd do a run, go up and down, and then go park for a little bit and get back on the road.
That sounds fun.
If you guys remember your first car, and then if you remember what the coolest car was at your high school, drop it in the comments below. So drop the year that you graduated, and then what was the coolest car, then what you owned. I think that'd be cool to read.
There was a guy, he was a grade above me. His name was Tony.
Tony.
He had a Cobalt SS, the LSJ one, yellow. And I remember he got like carbon fiber parts. Like this was the first car that I've seen with like more than just really shitty, AutoZone mods. Carbon fiber hood, like halo projector headlights. When those, I don't know if you guys remember when those like first started coming out. That was like holy shit. Carbon fiber wing, I think, and then vertical doors.
Damn,
in high school,
big balling.
That everyone was like, "Oh, that's Tony's Cobalt." They knew. He blew it up. He ran nitrous and blew it up.
I saved up for vertical doors.
What?
And there was a period of time where I was going to put vertical doors on the 3000 GT.
Oh my God.
And I was this close to doing it. And then I ended up not doing it, selling it. And then I bought the C5 A6.
And put vertical doors on that.
Yep.
I thought about it. There's definitely my search history.
Oh, yeah, dude. The Andy's Autosport cart went crazy.
Real quick. What's the take on vertical doors right now? What do you think about them?
I think on the right car.
You got to have, the doors got to be as long as the car for it to look good. That's my thoughts on it. So if you got short,
Jesus.
Yeah, if you got
stubby door.
Yeah, if you got short little dumb stubby doors, absolutely not. I think it looks silly as hell.
I think
you got big long johns on your car, yeah, because those fuckers go all the way up.
2-door cars only, or can 4-door cars pull it off?
No, Grand Coupe only or smaller.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I also hate, like, there is some cars that honestly I don't mind them. It's like whatever, neat. Okay, your door goes up, whatever. But there's some cars that I literally hate and despise because, like, dude, it's them fucking like Autobot Camaros that oh my God, dude, they get so gaudy and like builds like that. It's like the boomer guys that never grew up, and then they put vertical doors on their muscle car, and it just is the worst thing to fucking drive on the roads. Ugh. Yuck.
Tell me how you really feel.
You
spit on yourself. You just spit on yourself.
How manly.
For those listening, he spit on his left leg particularly.
And for those listening, Gels and Alex are still wearing the same shirt even after the first segment.
What, you want me to take my shirt off?
No, I want you to change.
That's messed up. Anything besides...
Okay, wait. I don't think Gels said one car that a 16-year-old shouldn't own.
He's going to say some turbo.
Man, we got way off topic there.
We did. It started looping around. So what about like a Ferrari F430 that's been salvaged?
I think that should be a great first car. Because you'll never be able to fucking drive it.
The insurance will take you down before anything else.
I was going to say that. Yeah. That's a pro tip. If you are like 16, 17, 18, you're getting a car, check the insurance before you buy it, because your insurance sucks as a 16-year-old for any car, let alone... You'd be surprised. Even it depends on your area. If you're in a big city and like you go look at Honda Civics, insurance might be psycho because Honda Civics get stolen all the time. So just check. You can call them. It takes 5 seconds. They take the VIN and they'll give you a quote.
Insurance are scams. Don't buy it.
Well, okay. Well, insurance is a scam, 100%.
Yes, I
but
agree
you
with
need to buy it because otherwise you got to pay
insurance
tickets like
is
Alex.
A scam. Don't buy it. I will say again, my pro tip. I've said it before. Don't buy the branded version sports car. Go find the other platforms they put that stuff in and buy that one instead. It's going to be lower on insurance. It's going to give you the same power, and it's going to be more fun. I say this all the time. Audi did this iconically with their A6 series, their A6 lineup, and their A8 lineup, and their S lines across their 4 series. So you can get a C5 A6 with a twin turbo V6 with 250 horsepower, the same exact engine, and a 6-speed manual transmission as the B5 S4, but it's a C5A6. It's bigger, it's heavier, and so the insurance on it was pennies on the dollar when I was 17.
Sure.
If I wanted a B5 S4, I remember it was
Way
like
expensive.
$280 a month in insurance.
That's
and for
psycho.
the C5A6, it was like 40.
Damn.
So I'm just saying, if you guys go out there and you're like, man, I really want a manual transmission, twin turbo, let's say it's an inline turbo BMW. It's like, go find that engine on Wikipedia. I'm not even kidding. Go find that engine on Wikipedia, click the link, and go see what else they put that in.
Yeah.
And go look at
The
those
used
cars
in drop down, yeah.
and go look at those cars instead, because you'll save like half the price and you'll still get really dope.
Honestly, I don't even know if you should have a nice first car because you're going to do stupid shit to it that you
Either way.
regret.
Yep.
No, it's a canon event. You got to have a car that you 100% believe is the best car in the world, that you take off a jump or you hit a fucking mailbox or you ram into something or you hit something. I remember one time I wasn't paying attention and I rear-ended my,
my God.
trailer with my Mercedes, and then I tried to tell
That
my
Mercedes
dad.
went through it.
And then I tried to tell my dad that like somebody bumped into me and he just didn't believe me, but I was so hell-bent on the lie that I was just stuck in it. And now to this day, he still doesn't think I'm telling the truth, and I still tell him that it was a trailer.
An
at
ongoing lie
this
for
for
how many years?
14 years.
That's a decade, brother. Let it go.
One time I was backing on my aunt's driveway and there was a telephone pole and they have those like support wires coming off of them, and I clipped my front bumper on it and it got behind the front bumper and just ripped the whole fucking thing off.
Man.
You are going to do things to your car. It's just a matter of when, not if.
I also
especially
fell
with
asleep
hitting
once in the Mustang while I was driving home.
Jesus.
And I sent her into the ditch and I just missed a bridge support beam. It was terrifying.
things. You're saying we wouldn't have Dakota Stone here?
It was close. It was close. That was probably the most terrifying like car related thing that happened to me.
Dang Mustangs.
I went swimming, and after swimming, I was tired, just tuckered out. And so don't drive when you're
I thought
sleepy.
this was
either.
another story.
Same story. Still tuckered out to this day.
Yeah.
Dakota doesn't operate until 10 a.m.
Yeah,
He
well.
just says various statements,
More of a
not complete sentences.
Second shifter.
Okay, we got one more segment to do. Let's talk about our second sponsor of the MartiniWorks podcast before cameras overheat, huh?
Let me
Correct.
explain something really quick while we do this, because our second sponsor of the podcast is Fortune Auto. And one of the things that I've learned over the various course of learning about suspension geometry is that actually you can adjust your understeer and oversteer going into a corner depending on your rebound compression and how you have that set.
Interesting.
Which is very interesting. Yeah. So Fortune Auto has the ability for you guys to adjust your height inside the coilover on your 500 or 510 series, but you also get a little click on the top that actually stiffens or softens your damper, which is how the fluid actually crosses through in that shock travel. Well, what I learned is actually you can adjust that as you're going into corners at like a constant speed, right? There are times where you'll feel like you're understeering or oversteering because of that weight shift. And actually by adjusting that, you can actually cross through and get a more balanced turn through approach without understeering or oversteering. Speed Academy did a very large portion, like segment article on it, read the whole thing. Those guys are awesome too. But Fortune Auto does a really great job at dialing in a coilover that feels appropriate right at the start, which means those adjustments that you get on these nicer, more high-end motorsport coilovers, they really do make a difference. And if you're looking to learn more about that or really dialing it in, it's nice to have a partner that can actually walk you through it and talk you through it, especially if you're building something that you want to go on the track and on the street with. And Fortune Auto does an absolutely incredible job with their coilovers and their customer service, which is why we actually partnered with them on the MartiniWorks podcast. We have them on our cars. We love them. But I always say they're one of those components that has a lot of information on them. And if you just jump in blindly and nobody's there to help you, it can make you feel a little lost. And that's why I really like being partnered up with Fortune Auto, is because they do a really great job with that. So if you're looking for a set, 500 or 510s, or you need help picking out a set of coilovers, head on over to MartiniWorks.com and we'd be happy to help you out.
Well, that was a bummer.
We just did a whole segment and
That
then
was awesome.
didn't record our audio.
So these boys think I'm asking them the same questions, but I'm not. I'm gonna keep them on their toes,
Good.
and I'm gonna
Okay,
keep
good.
you on
Yeah.
our toes too. Let me bring you up with something new. Mazda, they're never bringing a rotary back ever again,
No.
and anybody that thinks they are, they're living in Delulu land. But Mazda is aiming for 197 horsepower for the production MX-5 Spirit Racing.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Huh?
Yeah.
2,000-pound car, 200 horsepower.
It's cool that the Spirit Racing thing is making a comeback.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
I like that a lot. Zoom, my guy.
Zoom. When's the last time you zoomed?
Honestly,
morning.
not since I was a kid. But to be fair, the 2,000-pound, I think, kind of like not limit, but what they're trying to stay around is so underappreciated because almost every sports car coming out from a manufacturer right now is 3,600 pounds.
What's wrong with heavy cars?
A little bit. It just takes a little more, you know?
What's wrong with that?
Boisterous. And so at 3,600 pounds, that's a lot. At 2,000 pounds, 200 horsepower can do a lot.
So what is do you know the difference of the new Spirit R? What's it getting?
For weight? Or
No, like just like what's the old
What
difference
are the
here?
specs?
Yeah.
What's the brochure say?
Well, it's right now it's still in Mazda marketing land.
Where's the RX-9?
Yeah.
It'll come out new Bluetooth transmission and special rotary in 10 years.
And a 46-inch display.
Here's another good one. What do you guys think about this?
Okay.
Hell has freezing over
Freezing.
because Toyota dealer offers GR Corolla for under MSRP.
What?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, until you call them, they're like, nah, that was just.
Are the Corolla sales not going well? Why would they go under MSRP?
So I think
thought it was
the
appropriately
base model
priced.
GR Corolla has actually been pretty appropriate to get. I don't think it's been too difficult.
Yeah,
to
I think it's like
snag.
when you get to like what is it, the circuit edition?
Yeah, with the
it
forged
gets
carbon
pretty
roof.
crazy.
Those ones have been tough, but yeah.
Wheels.
Somebody goes recession indicator. Period. No emojis. Nothing exciting.
I mean, also like
I get it. I have no money.
like loan interest rates are insane right now. Too.
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
They're
don't-
terrible.
Yeah, I saw.
It's like the worst time you could buy a car or house.
Sucks because the
or life.
prices are coming down. You never win. You can never win.
Nope.
Well, that's the whole concept of like the marketplace.
That sucks.
Price
I don't like
comes
it.
down. It's harder to borrow money because why would they borrow you money when they could just go do it instead?
I don't like it.
All right. Anyway,
Give me money.
Give me stuff for free, or
My
I'm
money,
pissed.
and I want it now.
Yeah.
Now I get what he's saying.
Yeah.
I got a question for you guys. Do you think the Infiniti G35 is and should be labeled as a Skyline in America?
No.
I-
That's
Because I
weird.
get it because it's labeled as Skyline in Japan.
Yeah.
Why'd they call it that?
Why? I think
You don't ever see it. Like if you look at like the Japanese, like when they're showing Skylines and stuff, it's never like the G35 is just like in between the R34 and R35. It's not like just in there.
yeah.
So why'd they call it that?
I don't know.
Gels?
I know I don't really like it.
I don't think they should call it in Japan either.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
If any, it would make more sense for it to be called that over here.
Could you imagine the values of Skylines would fall if they just like woke up tomorrow and they're like, actually, if you own a G35, you now own a Nissan Skyline. All of your badges are, dude, street takeovers would be an entirely different
Everyone's
animal.
Instagram handles are getting changed. Instead of .G35, it's .Skyline.
I got
crazy.
I got worse news for you though.
Oh no. Oh
Worse
no.
news.
It's
I
happening.
want good news.
People apparently want more screens inside their cars.
Who are they asking? Who are they polling? Yeah. What kind of Family Feud shit is this?
Why do they need any more screens? Everyone's looking at their phone screen while they're driving anyways. What do
They're
they
going
need
to Mall
another
of
one?
America and asking people if they want more screens in the car. Yes, the answer is going to be resounding yes.
Mall of America's where like all polls are decided.
I heard once that I thought Family Feud polled people at Mall of America. Now that's all I can think of.
I feel like if all of our polls came from Mall of America, they're terribly skewed.
I mean, it
It's
is.
just Midwest wants. Where it's like, what do you want in a car? And then people are like, I want a place to put
Hamburger.
my 30 rack so that it won't fall over. That's what I want.
I mean, it is the Mall of America. So
No, it's the Mall of Midwest
The Mall of polls.
/ America.
there's no Midwest in there.
100%. It's a Midwest tourist attraction. When was the last time you went to the Mall of America?
Like last year,
10 years ago.
Is it an annual trip for you?
it used to be.
I went to the Mall of America when I was 17.
Listen.
That was it.
Amazon is the Mall of America.
Maggie's mom would get us we'd get free tickets to the Radisson Blue, not tickets, but like a room in the Radisson Blue, which is connected to the Mall of America. Yeah, tickets to the hotel, and it's really fucking nice. And it's like right there, so it's like when we were in like college and stuff, we would like do like a spring break trip to the Mall of America because it was a free trip. It was
As he says it out loud, he is understanding what it sounds like. He's like,
it's a nice hotel.
For my spring break, I went to the Mall of America.
Yeah, and I went and saw the Queen Spinner of Shell Shock.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
I have seen the Queen
you
Spinner
didn't.
of Shell Shock. I have 100% have.
All right. In other things I don't believe, Audi is getting rid of fake exhausts because everyone hates them.
Good.
That was not pulled at the Mall of America.
Yeah, Audi's asking the right people.
One of the very first mods I tried to do on my C5A6 is a 2001. I remember it's got this like shaved bumper. It just kind of like tucks in. There's no exhaust tips. And it's just it was always the weirdest thing to look at. And so the first mod I was looking to do was a quad tip mod on my C5A6. We had to cut the bumper, make it work, but I didn't trust myself, so I didn't do that.
I want them to get rid of sound composers in vehicles.
Yes.
They should just make them illegal.
The thing that fakes the noise.
Yeah. Well, like
It kind of like
I like it in slow cars.
it adds noise to
those
the
have it.
cabin.
I know, I like it. It's, my slow car
Everything
sounds
fucking
fast.
has it. Focus STs have it. I think the Golf R might have it.
Probably.
GR86 has it. Like, stop doing
FRS
that.
had it. Yeah.
Stop fucking doing that. Enough.
I do have a confession.
Okay.
I do have a confession, and I noticed this more recently.
Okay.
I've seen these new Cadillac Escalades, big black
They're
ones.
huge.
Okay.
I love them.
Okay. That's okay.
I don't know
Just
why.
into big vehicles lately.
I don't know why. I saw one that was like up trimmed. I think they have like a V version
That's probably
now,
like 300 grand.
and it loped at me when I was walking by it. It was like,
What the fuck?
and I'm like, this is a brand new Cadillac V badge on the back,
And it's misfiring.
and I was like, I want that.
They are
so
kind of cool,
bad.
actually.
I'm not gonna lie. We rented. I think we went out to California at one point. We rented a vehicle and we got like one of the newer like Tahoes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, pretty nice.
Lake
They're
Tahoe.
big.
Lake Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe. Never
Yeah,
been
they
there.
definitely don't play around in terms of size. I don't know why they're so big, but
Yeah.
but they
America.
all right. Last thing that I got for you guys is no, we don't like Volvo, but we don't love Volvo.
I don't know shit about
Volvo, they chill.
Well, yeah, I mean Volvo's chill,
They're
but
good
it's not
things.
like
I just don't know much about.
never have I seen a Volvo like headline and been like, wow, that's incredible. It's just like
they keep it low key.
I'm like, yeah, that's very Volvo of them. They're like Volvo's reintroducing the Volvo S60. It's like,
They make that's exciting. If they make a new S60R, I'm checking it out.
there's no way Volvo's gonna bring back the R line because
You
it's
don't
the
think so?
Polestar.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 'cause
Oh,
they're
you're
just gonna
right.
put it into
You're
the Polestar.
This tree.
Careful, you're in the woods.
Careful.
Volvo makes semis.
Yeah, they do.
Volvo make truck.
Yeah.
Volvo make car.
Mm-hmm.
Bring back the S60R.
Yeah.
That was my poem.
Oh, okay. I see where we're going. I thought we were just saying the thing. Saab made fighter jets. So
Jesus.
You want to know
They
what?
can't make a
you,
car worth a shit.
you know, you guys will not believe what Volkswagen used to make.
What?
what?
What they used to make?
Thank you guys so much for watching the MartiniWorks podcast. We genuinely appreciate it. If you're looking for car parts,
Mitsubishi too. They used to make some.
yeah, mod your car at MartiniWorks.com.
Subaru.
A lot of history from
Subaru makes
1950 onwards.
bombs.
Mm-hmm.
What, you talking about the EJ205?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big old bomb.
With that being said, if you guys are looking for some help when you are buying your car parts and you need to get it financed, we have some responsible ways that you can do that through Affirm and Catapult on the website. No matter what it is that you're approved for, though, please don't max it out.
Yes. Don't go.
Do it right.
Buy a bunch of stuff.
There's a ton of really great affordable aftermarket parts that we would highly recommend. Koenig for wheels. Enki has got some great competitively priced wheels. Yokohama, great priced tires. General Tires as well. BC Racing and Tane are great for coilovers. Tanes are like $500-$600 instead of spending $1,100 on BCs. There's a lot of really great options out there. And if you guys and gals need help on finding the best value part for your car, shoot us a message in that bubble. We'd be happy to help you out. One of the big things that we're able to do this is because you guys mod your car here at MartiniWorks.com. So if you want to keep seeing the podcast, pick up your car parts from us. And if you want us to talk about something, let us know below.
Yeah.
Bye. Go to the Mall of America now.
I'm going to go try to eat now. Hopefully this audio saves.
Yeah, you get to stop this one because I
I'm
don't
so
want to
excited
touch
for
it.
my ramen.
Here, see it.
Oh, you press no probably.